got to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. How y'all? Welcome to the show. Friday again, end of the work week for a handful of people. Most people work all through the weekend. But end of the work week, you can get involved by calling 888-7753. 773-888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. And my brand new biblical question for this week is a doozy. Just a brand new biblical question. Do you recognize a wave of pain that overtakes you? Do you recognize a wave of pain that overtakes you? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And you can podcast all the shows if you're busy and you just can't sit and watch it right now. I know it's early, and some of you are getting up, getting your kids ready for school or whatever. You're sending them off to the public school because you hate them and you don't want to be home to raise them, because it's not the same ego thrill that you get when you're out in the public. And the public can praise you and applaud you for what you're doing out there, and it give you a good feeling. So you'd rather have that than to be home raising your children. I understand. So you can be listening to the show on your iPhone or iPad. Your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com Buy me a coffee. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP. I'm sorry, talk to the anchor baby over there. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. And Bond JLP Cash App. Or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It's Friday, and some of you know, the new listeners know, that some of you know that Friday's like get it off your chest Friday. You know, we don't have any subject. Just kind of get it off your chest, right? And some of you know that Friday is and will always be Express Yourself Friday.
You Tom like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
It's just merely because I've been conditioned to do that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Good. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Just from what I've heard you say, and you running for the school board, ain't no way in the world I'd vote for you.
They don't make them like they used to.
The nation's first female president.
Claudia Sheinbaum officially becomes president on October 1st.
It's a new world.
Since the beginning of the year, she's been locked in a battle with the Board of Trustees over accusations she misused taxpayer money.
My problem is everybody's problem. Everybody want crime stopped.
That just don't make it like they used to.
And then Elon's mother says I was very nasty to her. I wasn't. She just made it up.
How dare you? Death to all of them.
From AM 1090 WTSB.
It's not work, it's a labor of love.
Carl Lamm has met so many celebrities.
Had a good, close relationship with Roy Acuff and met a lot of the old cowboys.
Amazing. Grandpa, tell me about the good of that. That's an amazing video. Put together by a genius. The Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby. Very, very nice. You see my old friend Doyle from 30 years ago. What the? Open Line Friday. I want to remind you, just throw it out there, it's a spiritual battle, a warfare between good and evil. Man, it's bad. It's worse than what I even can imagine. I thought that it was. This is truly hell on earth inside of human beings. And if you don't know it by now, you will never, ever, 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 ever know it. We have a government, a group of people that work for, that you voted in to work for you, who are now working against you for personal gain. They can give two hoops and a holler for you, we, the American people. Isn't that amazing? That is mind-blowing, but it is reality, and I understand it. You have never, and should ever, never rely on the government to take care of you. Government is just a body of human beings who are evil, and they have no love, just like you have no love. I want you to think about this. Our government spent buku money sending it over to Ukraine. I even heard they gave Iran or one of those people some money, truckload of money. They send the money to Israel. They send it everywhere, but they do nothing for home. Zero. As I said on Owen Shore's show yesterday, it's like a husband, a man and a wife, a woman get married, and they have a bunch of children, and at some point, the husband or the wife decide they want to go be with another person, and they leave their family and go and take care of somebody else's family and let their own family suffer. It's like that. Our government has proven, this government has proven that it care nothing about the American people. They send all the money over to everywhere but home. They spend it on illegal aliens, trying to tell them how to get into our country undetected. They put them up in hotels. They get them college money. They get them food, free rent, everything. And then they tell them, everything, don't worry about it. Here's free phone. Here's how you get here. And then there's a bad weather happening in America where American citizens' homes are blown away by the winds and the waters and the storms. And they are stranded. And you know what our government do for the American citizen? Zero. They tell them, we don't have any money. FEMA is out of money. It doesn't have any money, so we We can't help you. We spend it all on the illegal aliens. Think about that. And you know what you're going to do? Come November, you're going to vote them right back in. Cackling Kamala Harris and that little buckeye weak guy she got called vice president running with her, you're going to vote them in. Well, you're going to vote for them. They might not get in, but you will vote for them. What a sad way to live. How about you get what you deserve, the type of government you deserve, because that's what you want. They can't even help the American citizen right now who lost their homes and everything in some cases. They said, well, we don't have any money. FEMA ran out of money. Yeah, FEMA low. And then Kamala Harris said, well, we'll give you $750. You keep on begging. We'll give you $750. And in today's economy, $750 won't buy a bag of groceries because of the government. That you voted in. Here, and it's never been easier to get into the country. And I want to show you the proof. Have you heard of the CBP One app? C as in cat. CBP One app. And it's for Custom and Border Protection. That's what it's called. Well, this is from Fox. The CBP One app is used to streamline asylum appointments at U.S. borders entry point and verify the identity of non-citizens, meaning illegal aliens, in various immigration processes. I want you to watch this video. I want to watch this guy who show you how easy it is for illegal aliens to get into the United States with this app. Watch this from TikTok.
I was curious just how easy that CBP One app was to use, so I downloaded it. So once you create an account from the main page, you just have to choose if you're the smuggler or the smugglee. Then you just got to fill in basic info, first name, last name, you know, all the basics. Now it's time to take a selfie, and passport or any identification is also optional. Then it asks you which state you're headed to. I said I didn't know the address. I didn't know the city. I just chose California, and then I added the first zip code that Google gave me for California. And that's it. I'm good to go. It does let you choose between like 8 different bridges to meet under. I chose the Eagle Pass Bridge to meet under. I just have to wait until noon, so a couple more hours to actually make my appointment. I'm just a white dude from Michigan. This took me 5 minutes.
Amazing. To get into the United States of America. Made possible by the United States government. And Kamala Harris go down to the border because she's trying to get votes. She hold a little line speech, and you think she is good to go. And you think and you believe she is good to go. My country's gone. My country is no longer tears of thee. It's over. Hello, South Africa. America is like way down the road in the form of South Africa. It really is. And it's worse than what you know because the media is not telling you the depths of the violence and what's really going on, the attack on white people and all that. You don't know all of it. No law and order in America in the same way as in South Africa. I also think that they're not just using blacks now for destruction, but I think that it's so unfortunate. When I say unfortunate, It's just another way of communication. I don't know how unfortunate it is or not. But it's interesting that Black Americans for the last 70 years have been used for the destruction of America. And now they're bringing in other people for that reason. Isn't that amazing? To destroy the country. And you vote them in again and again and again and again. You see Liz Cheney, supposed to be she a Dick Cheney. Dick Cheney is Liz Cheney's husband, right? Huh?
No. Liz Cheney's father.
Her father?
Yep.
How come she look older as he does?
That's a rough woman. She doesn't look as old as him.
She looked like she's old enough to be his wife. Maybe she's a year or two younger. But she looked like she's his... Where's his wife? I never see her. If that's not his wife, why is I never see his wife?
That's a good question. Lynn Cheney.
I bet you she's his wife and you don't know it.
No, it's Lynn Cheney is his wife.
Who?
Lynn. L-Y-N-N.
Have we ever seen Lynn?
Not in years. She looks familiar. I'm looking at a picture of her right now.
Oh, okay. So Liz is the daughter.
One of them. One of the daughters.
And not the wife.
Correct.
Oh, okay. She has endorsed. Oh. Does she look like the wife?
No, not to me. I mean, it could be nowadays. Men marry younger gals.
Yeah. Well, this female has endorsed Kamala Harris while pretending to be a Republican. And it's been said that she's mad at Donald Trump. She doesn't like Donald Trump. And I'm just wondering, is it because she can't control Donald Trump? Did Cheney support her too?
Probably too. Mm-hmm.
Most other Republicans represent are like this. They're like Liz and Dick. They are right-o Republicans. They're for wars, they're for profit gains, and they've never been for the people. And you vote them in over and over and over and over again. NYP warned that the Venezuelan gangs, TDA, Tren de somebody, is taking over in New York City. They're taking over in New York City migrant shelters, meaning illegal alien shelters in New York. Isn't that amazing? I want you to watch this soundbite. This illegal alien gangs have been reported in 12 other U.S. cities. Watch this from Fox.
TDA activity is reported in more than 12 other United States cities.
Harris, that's right. The NYPD says there are now hundreds of associates of Tren de Aragua, which is Venezuela's violent gang, or TDA. And now, in fact, you can see there's the largest migrant shelter in New York City behind me. The NYPD says that the gang members are enlisting new recruits inside, they're selling drugs inside, and they're smuggling guns inside those shelters through food cartons.
Absolutely. They're operating within. We have intelligence that they're in shelters, that they recruit in shelters, but they also branch out to communities. The problem we're having with TDA is that the intelligence of who they are, what they are, it's a little slower because they're brand new to this country, let alone the city. So that's a hindrance.
Amazing. Your government intentionally, deliberately invited them in by opening the gate and giving them a computer, a cell phone, so they can get in and easily. This is done by your government. This is not like a secret where these illegal aliens secretly cross the border is wide open. And dumb Kamala Harris goes down and pretends she cares. And I've been doing this, and I did this in California. It's going to get worse. The NYPD says the TDA, what's it called?
Tren de Aragua.
Gang members are not afraid to shoot at cops. Watch this from Fox.
The NYPD says TDA gang members are not afraid to shoot at cops. They say in June, a gang member on a moped shot and wounded 2 NYPD officers. Earlier this year in Times Square, the NYPD says a 15-year-old gang member shot a tourist in the leg and fired at a police officer while shoplifting.
And we chased him through the streets, and he's shooting under his armpit. He didn't learn that on the fly. He learned how to shoot a gun somewhere else. And there is intelligence, we go back to the intelligence piece, that they are trained to not trust police and to shoot at them in Venezuela.
Think about that. The United States of American government invited gang members from Venezuela. Some were in prisons over there, and they invited them into this country. They let them in. They invited them. It wasn't like they snuck across the borders. The Border Patrol were told, from what I'm hearing, hey, don't let them in. Don't do anything. And now, this is what the American citizens have to endure. And Kamala Harris and our government is not going to feel the pain. You will. You live in those communities. You live in those areas. Bless you, Nick. He just sneezed. One other final report on this for now. The TDA profit off human trafficking to pay off debts owed by being smuggled in. Watching from Fox.
Now, last week, police shut down a 24-hour migrant brothel in Queens, New York, where TDA has a stronghold. The NYPD says TDA profits off of human trafficking by forcing migrant women into prostitution to pay off the debts that they're owed for being smuggled into the country. The New York Post reports 8 states are now seeing an explosion in migrant prostitution as Tren de Aragua spreads nationwide, with reported gang activity in 14 states and 10 cities. And Harris, what makes matters worse here in New York City is that the city's sanctuary law makes it impossible, in fact illegal, for the NYPD to contact ICE, which means many of these violent gang members are often not deported.
Amazing. They make sure that it's not even deported after caught for committing crimes. I don't know what to say to you. It's going to get worse. The government is not for you. And especially the Democratic government and some of the right-wing Republicans, they're not for you. JLP Fri just said, oh, they just want the American dream. Lord, leave them alone. They're coming for a better life. I bet they are. Just think about that. They put the blacks in control, especially black females, in control of our government, police department, city councils. They open the borders, bring in more. How is it possible for the country to come back to normal? It's not. Be not deceived. It's over. And it's going to get worse. Right. JLP Fri just saying what the government said. We're doing it for the betterment of other people. They're coming for opportunities. You're right, Joe. That's what the government lied, tell her, and the people believe it. And then they said, we're all immigrants. No, we're not. You have not seen anything yet. You think it's bad now, and it is. This government want to take away your Second Amendment so that you can't even protect yourself from this. They're not going to protect you. They make sure the police can't protect you. And now they want to take away your rights, Second Amendment, so you can't protect you. And you vote them in over and over and over again. Just because some dumb actor or entertainer support them. The American people, and not all, but most, are dumb. I just never seen such dumbness in my whole life. I tell you all the time, and it's true, I'm black and slow, but it seems like I have a PhD degree where you can really look at how the people vote for people who only hurts them and not help them. That this government deliberately create problems for you. They create them for you. You don't have to do it yourself. The government that you voted in is doing it for you, and you still vote them in. They should have to hold a commercial to tell you how to vote. This government has proven to you how to vote, but you don't see it. You don't want to see it or something, or you love your misery. You love your pain. The American, in parts of our country right now, it has been wiped out by hurricanes. And the people are crying, people are afraid. They're casted with bodies floating down the river. And they're like, government, come and help us. Government, we are citizens. Come and help. And they won't go. I heard a report that there are National Guards around some of these areas, but they can't function because no one will give them instruction as to what to do. FEMA's not around to tell them what to do. They don't know what to do to help the people, the American citizen. But yet, in Ohio, they brought in blacks from Haiti and brought in even more problems. And they tell you that's not happening. And you vote them in. Why can't you see for yourself what's going on? Why can't you think and do for yourself? What is up with that? You don't need anyone to tell you how to vote. The proof is in the pudding. What good is it doing you to vote for someone because of their color or because they're female or because they're female? They're taking the money, according to some of the reports, and they're paying for men and women to change their body parts because they may feel like a man may feel like a female may feel like a male. And they're like, our government want to pay for that. In prison. For illegal aliens. 888-77-53-773. Talking about being lost in your imagination, you're deep into it. Quick break. When I come back, your phone calls and your super chats. It's Open Line Friday. Get it off your chest today. Back in a moment. I read or heard that some Republicans are starting to pull their advertisements from Google or whomever, right? Because so many conservatives are being shut down, discriminated against, shadow ban and all that kind of stuff. So conservatives are starting to fight back. It is happening to us too. I was just taking it one day at a time. But you can go to jlptalk.com and find all the ways to support us. You can check out rebuildingdemand.com and support our nonprofit organization. You can call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, share, and Sunny. And also, we have thefallenstate.tv. Ring the bell. It's Friday, a busy day today, as all Fridays are for us. Number one, the Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. The Hake, not at the top of this hour, at 9 a.m. Pacific time. The Hake Report from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then at 12 noon today, no Joy Friday on Fridays. It's weird. His name is Joy Friday, but no Friday on Friday. What the? It should have been Joy Thursday. But no Joy Friday on Friday. At 12 noon today and every Friday, brand new episode of The Fallen State. Had an amazing, fun conversation, but serious conversation with Earl. Hold on, I got to go find out how to pronounce his name. I'll be right back. How do I pronounce Earl? So my producer was speaking to me. My ears, I can hear it was too low. Earl Skyko, I believe. And I think my producer's telling me now, but I still can't hear it. And Earl is a stand-up comic, actor, and the host of the Inappropriate Earl podcast. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
So what's wrong with the blacks?
Did you try to get me canceled? If I get another comedy gig after this airs, I'll be amazed. I never have once told a girlfriend, make me dinner, ho. Daddy's hungry.
You probably have one now, had you said that.
I'd probably have a wife. I'm not anti-homeless.
I am anti-homeless.
Okay, so am I. I just want to be nice. What's wrong with saying the N-word?
Right.
Nothing if the windows are up. I'm going to get killed after this. Can someone walk me to my car?
Yeah, you're going to love it. Really. It was fun. It was fun. At 12 noon. And support The Fallen State right there. thefallenstate.tv/donate or locals.com in the description. Amazing. And then at 4 p.m., The American Anchor Baby. The American Anchor Baby. at 4 p.m. today, Pacific time, on fire. And go to Bond, my nonprofit, rebuildingaman.com, all right? We are rebuilding the family by rebuilding a man, 35 years almost. Come February, if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Go make a donation to my nonprofit. We need your support. Go to rebuildingaman.com/donate or call 800-411-BOND. 800-411-2663. Make a donation. Let me go to DENNY out of Bulgaria. DENNY, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good day, Mr. Peterson. I hope you're doing well, sir.
All is well, DENNY. I appreciate it.
I'm glad to hear. Mr. Peterson, I'm calling with a question. I've been hearing it a lot lately, especially here in the EU, and probably it's the same in your place. My question is, why should people take care of old people? Like, I'm not talking about, people that are in a bad situation because of an earthquake or some natural disaster. Right now we have a lot of a problem, like people that are living in specific areas, they can't, heat themselves during the winter and so on and so forth. And I think it's pure ego, like let's help the old people to, that feel-good thing that you're talking about. Because after all, Mr. Peterson, I'm talking about 74, 5-year-old people. I mean, at that age, you should take care of yourself. If you haven't figured it out for half a century, what to do and how to take care of yourself, I don't know. It's strange. And I was wondering, what do you think about it?
So are you saying that, I'm not quite understanding your question. You're saying that are you saying that people should take care of old people that who are not a part of their family or strangers?
Yeah, who are not a part of the family.
And when you ask why should people, what do you mean why should people do that? I don't think people are doing that.
A lot of, it's on TV all the time, send a donation to old people that don't have money for the winter, and so on and so forth. And those people actually live in the good part of the city. If you live in a good part of the city, but you can't afford it, well, I believe that you should just, sell your place and go live elsewhere where you can afford it. They are often complaining that the bills are going to be too high this winter. Well, they will be high. They will be high for everybody. Again, if you can't afford it, well, you shouldn't be living in that nice area of the city. That's my opinion, but I was wondering, what do you think about it?
Well, I think, it all depends on the situation. Sometimes situations happen where you just have no control over. You need help.
I agree.
So I understand that. But if old people have not built a life where they're able to take care of themselves when they become old, that's their fault and no one else's. They're responsible for building a life where when they retire or whatever, they should be able to take care of themselves, even with mothers, fathers, and mothers. Because a lot of mothers impose herself on the adult children when she get old. She make them feel guilty as though they owe her something. They have a responsibility to take care of them, of her, just because she's their mother, and that's evil. That's wrong to put that kind of guilt on anyone.
It's the same thing. I was talking about that same kind of guilt, and people are looking at. Please understand, I'm not some kind of a monster that want people to be, suffering. I don't, but I at the same point, I don't want to, take care of somebody else's grandparents and donate money to them. And a lot of people are doing it exactly like that, as you say, out of guilt.
Are you taking care of your parents?
No.
They take care of themselves?
Yes.
Nice. And
well, my father died, but my mother is taking care of herself. My parents, that's how I grew up. Once I was out of the home, I'm on my own, and they're on their own. And when they die, if they want, they can leave me something. If they don't want to die, if they don't want to leave me something, that's fine.
Right.
But
absolutely,
that's it.
Yeah.
And that's how I was raised. That's how they were raised. So I'm not taking care of them, but at the same time, I see no reason why I should be taking care of other people's parents and grandparents. And I think people are doing it out of ego.
And so, and you're responding to when you see commercials where people are raising money to take care of older people, right?
Yes.
Well, you're not obligated to send the money at all. Or you should not feel anything if you send it or if you don't send it. It's up to you.
I had a discussion about that, and people were trying to guilt other people for doing it. You're completely right, but if people don't pay attention, they fell for it.
Yeah.
You've noticed that?
Yeah, I hear that a lot, and especially from older parents. I hear it a lot. Amazing. Thank you, Denny. I appreciate it, man.
I appreciate you, Mr. Peterson. The work you do is amazing. Kind regards to your audience and your colleagues. God be with you, Mr. Peterson, and have a remarkable weekend, sir.
You too, buddy. Take care now. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye now. Gabrielle out of North Carolina. Gabriella, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling.
I was just calling to say thank you for one, because like the last caller said, the work you do is amazing. It's changed my life, like in ways that I could never imagine in such a short amount of time.
Amazing.
So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Hello?
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah.
And the silent prayer is very beneficial.
In what way?
Well, for one, the most important part for me is just the part where you say, be still and just like watch your thoughts as if your house is being burglarized and you're just standing back watching.
Yes.
That really put something into perspective for me. So at first, when I started to do the silent prayer, I would always have to, in my mind, go back to that point where you say that. And then I don't know what day it happened, but it just all of a sudden it just brought everything together for me, and it's very beneficial. In what way, I can't put my finger on it. I just know that it changed my life.
Amazing! I'm telling you, if you stay with this, if you make this a lifelong commitment to overcoming the fallen state, overcoming the thoughts, right? I hear a lot of people. I talk to a lot of people, Christians and non-Christians alike. And what I've discovered is that nearly all people don't believe that you can have a life without fear, a life without worry. They don't believe that you can have a peaceful life, a perfect peace in your life while you live. And that is like mind-blowing to me, that there are human beings that don't believe that you could be free right here on earth. They think that you have to die and then go to heaven, and then somehow or another you're going to get it, right? If you stay with this, working on yourself and overcoming the imagination, you will, and I promise you this, you will have perfect peace right here on earth. The world will be going crazy around you. Human beings will be going crazy because human beings are the world. They will be going crazy, and you will not be affected by it. You will have a clear mind and perfect peace. It's going to blow your mind, but you got to stay with it. Don't give up. You got to practice staying present rather than being lost in your head. And you're going to see that God is right here with you. The kingdom of heaven, perfect peace, is right here with you all the time. So stay with it and just stay with it. Just stay with it. If the whole world turned against you, you stay with it.
Indeed. Thank you.
I'm telling you, I don't care what happened. Your husband leave, your kids leave, your friends turn on you, your church member turn on you, whatever. You stay with it and let them go. Don't want anyone or anything so important. Don't make anyone or anything so important that you feel like you got to have it. And you'll be free. I'm telling you. Stay with it, Gabrielle.
Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome. Amazing.
Amazing.
All right. Thank you. You got to stay with it, folks. Last night we had our men's forum. The first of the month, men's forum. And I can't find the words to tell you how amazing it was. It was shocking. Amazing. Really, it was deep, deep, deep amazing. And I just as last month when we had the Women's Forum, which is the third Thursday of every month, I never know what's going to happen in these meetings. Sunday morning meetings at 11 a.m. Pacific time for the fellowship, or the men's forum on the first Thursday night of the month, ladies forum third Thursday night. I never know what's going to happen, so I go with an open mind. I go with a wait-and-see attitude. I have to honestly tell you, I'm not making it up. I am not making it up. And we have had some amazing meetings over the years. Last Thursday, the third Thursday meeting we had with the ladies was shocking. In that, it has never been that deep. And last night with the men meeting, it's mind-blowing. What I realized, not just from the meetings, I realized this over a period of time now, it's so amazing to me that as human beings, we can live on this earth without knowing, without being aware that there's something else driving us in the imagination to make us think, feel, act, and do things that we would not of ourselves do. It's like something is driving us. I was watching this, long story short, I was watching this documentary. I don't know if it's a documentary or it's just about crime. Passion crime or something like that. I don't know what it's called. And it was showing these are real stories according to the reports. They are real stories. And so long story short, these two girls, well, there was like 4 of them, and they were all good friends in high school. From elementary school all the way through high school, they grew up together. They were good friends, right? 2 of the girls, well, one of the girls in the group met another girl while in high school, and an older girl, and they became lesbians together. Together. And through high school, they were really into each other. One girl was younger and the other girl was older. And they were really into each other, but they all grew up together in school. And then the older girl finished high school while the younger girl had a couple more years before she would finish. And so they got involved in each other, just so emotional with one another. They love one another. They call it love, holding hands. And when the older girl left high school because she graduated, the younger girl and the older girl plotted where the younger girl would sneak out of home because the parents did not want her to be a lesbian. And she would sneak away at night to visit, go and see this girl. And they got so into each other emotionally, and the more the mother found out about it, the mother tried to prevent them from being together. No, this girl's too old for you. Not that the mother didn't want them together because they were lesbian, because she said the older girl was too old for her younger daughter. And guess what happened? These 2 wanted to be together so desperately that they plotted, and according to the story and the report that I saw, they killed the younger girl's mother to get her out of the way so they could be together. The devil convinced them that they loved each other so much they just could not live without each other. And there was no way they were going to let the mother get in the way. And Satan, the spirit of evil, convinced them to kill the girl's mother to get out of the way. So what they did, they plotted, and they, when the mother went to sleep, the younger girl called the older girl over and let her in, and they broke a window and pretend so it looked like a break-in. And the older girl went into the bedroom and stabbed the mother 70 times and cut her throat. Oh, I'm laughing because it's just funny because I hate and laughing. But what is interesting about that is that those two girls are now life in prison. And they live in separate prisons. They're not even together now. And Satan convinced them to do that. They thought they were in love and they thought they had to have each other to the point that they murdered, according to the story, the mother. I want you to know that same spirit is inside of you. That same spirit. The mother that tried to take the man's children away from him, or men's children away from them in court or wherever. That's that same spirit that caused these girls to allegedly kill the mother. They could have walked away. They could have ran. They could have moved to another state. So many things they could have done, but they weren't able to see that because they were caught up in their imagination. It's the same spirit. It's the same spirit that caused mothers to destroy children to get back at the father, to make up lies. It's the same spirit that caused fathers, husbands, to beat their wives because the wives won't do what they want them to do, make them feel good. It's the same spirit that causes you to rob, steal, and kill. To have fear, to have doubt, loneliness, insecurity, worry. It's the same spirit. Suicidal thoughts. To make you think that the drug is your friend to make you feel better. It's the same spirit that causes you to believe that racism exists. It's evil. It's the same spirit that causes you to compare yourself to others, to try to be like, to take on other people's personalities. It's the same spirit that causes you to have fear, envy, jealousy, and strife, and revenge. It's the same spirit that causes you to believe racism, sexism, homophobiaism, Allah-u-Abba-ism, or white supremacism, anti-Semitism exists. It makes you believe that, and it's all a lie. And it makes you act out. You're not in control of your life. You don't have a free will. When I come back, I didn't know this hour was gone that fast, but I'm coming back. I got to take a break. Straight to the phones and your super chat. Hake is coming in with the hate news. Not the fake news, but the hate news. And I'll be back in a moment. It's amazing how evil is ruling this world through human beings. Back in a moment. I have books that are amazing. I highly recommend you get them. 7 Guaranteed Steps to Spiritual, Family, and Financial Success Guide. Even if you're not starting a business, but you have a job, or you're on welfare, it can help you if you do. Be doers of the word, all right? From rage to responsibility. From rage. That's what I write about in the first chapter, especially how I overcame. Scam. How the black leadership exploits black Americans. They are using them, and blacks are too willing to be used. And then my last book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood. They are all amazing books, and they are helpful. Go to rebuildingtheman.com if you want an autographed copy, or call 800-411-2663.
A whole lot of mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 1 of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Get It Off Your Chest Friday, October 4th, AD 2024. The lines are full, guys. JLP will be right back to your calls and the super chats and some great stories. But first, hake news on fake news. Commie Nonsense Network CNN says some travelers relish planning trips months in advance. Others wait until the last minute to book their flights or renew their passports. If you consider yourself the latter, good news. The typical processing time for U.S. passports is now back down to 4 to 6 weeks, down from the previously wait time of up to 8 weeks. So says the State Department. Who cares? The port strike. Thousands of striking port workers, or non-workers, for a few days there, will return to their jobs. Longshoremen and longshoremen gals, too. After the International Globo Homo Longshoremen's Association reached a tentative agreement Thursday with negotiators. The 50,000 members of the union working at ports from Maine to Texas, not working really, had been on strike, which means they were not working since Tuesday over the wages and concerns that increased automation at the ports could cost union jobs. Crooked Joe Biden praised the tentative wage deal. That's how you know it's bad, if he praised it. Not necessarily. I'm kidding around. I congratulate the dock workers from the ILA who deserve a strong contract after sacrificing so much to keep our ports open during the pandemic. Like 4 years ago, that's what he said, Crooked Joe Biden said. For the Biden administration, the motivation to limit the economic fallout was amplified by the fact that a lengthy strike could have caused shortages for some U.S. imports. Oh, so they just quit the strike in order to help Crooked Joe? Shameful. And further soured Americans' views. It could have further soured Americans' views of the Bidenomics. We need to bring Hakenomics, or better yet, Trumponomics, into the last weeks before the election. What a mess. And speaking of the presidential race, Rhino Republican, former representative ousted by the based voters of Wisconsin, Liz Cheney campaigned with the so-called VP cackling Kamala Harris in the battleground state of Wisconsin. Liz Cheney on Thursday. Liz Cheney and Kamala Harris. That's a pair you don't want to see. I don't know. Mildly attractive on the outside only. Liz Cheney pointed to our greatest President Donald J. Trump's actions, his perfect actions from January 6, 2021 AD, and said, anyone who would do these things can never be trusted with power again. Speak for yourself, gal. Her attempt to persuade swing voters comes as the latest CNN average of polls in the state of Wisconsin finds cackling Kamala deadlocked with our greatest President Trump. And the latest CNN poll of polls shows that the presidential race remains tight nationally. Meanwhile, our greatest President Trump campaigned in the key swing state of Michigan yesterday, criticized the Biden-Kamala administration's response to Hurricane Helene. He falsely claimed, says CNN, that Kamala stole money from FEMA and used it on housing and gift cards for undocumented immigrants. Oh, they're documented. The illegal aliens, they mean. Very fake news from CNN. Helene, after at least 213 people have died since Hurricane Helene slammed into the southeast more than a week ago, last week, Thursday. Searches for missing loved ones grow more desperate each day as officials say hundreds are unaccounted for. So it's a terrible mess going on in that part of the world. Rescue crews are hindered by ongoing cell service issues and washed out roads. I heard that Elon Musk is trying to help with the Starlink and internet, but it's a big mess. I'm James Hake. Now back to the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, Hour 2.
strong. Ain't the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
It's terrible. I remember a white woman was helping me, and I was saying terrible. She's like, "No, Jesse, it's terrible." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And hate goes terrible. Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773. 888-77-JESSE. The biblical question for this week: do you recognize a wave of pain that overtakes you? Do you recognize, know thyself, do you recognize a wave of pain that overtakes you? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. Or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It's Friday. I want you to watch this amazing open that the Anchor Baby put together. It's funny. It's deep, but funny. It's Friday. It's Get It Off Your Chest Day. Get it off your chest, Mace. From Ohio, our friend. It's Friday, Get It Off Your Chest Day. It's Friday, whatever is on your mind, express yourself Friday.
You Tom like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
It's just merely because I've been conditioned to do that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Good. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Just from what I've heard you say, and you running for the school board, ain't no way in the world I'd vote for you.
They don't make them like they used to.
As the nation's first female president,
Claudia Sheinbaum officially becomes president on October 1st.
It's a new world.
Since the beginning of the year, she's been locked in a battle with the Board of Trustees over accusations she misused taxpayer money.
My problem is everybody's problem. Everybody want crime stopped.
They just don't make them like they used to.
And then Elon's mother says I was very nasty to her. I wasn't. She just made it up.
How dare you? Death to all of them.
From AM 1090 WTSB.
It's not work, it's a labor of love.
My
Carl
friend.
Lamb has met so many celebrities.
Had a good, close relationship with Roy Acuff and met a lot of the old cowboys.
Old school. Old school. Carl Lamm. He expired recently at the age of 97. Anyway, the Anchor Baby put that together. What the? Let me go to California and talk to Grace. Grace, welcome to the show. Get it off your chest.
Good morning, Jesse. How are you?
All is well, Grace.
I got fired.
You got fire?
Yes.
You have fire?
I got fired.
You got fired? You mean like from your job?
Yes.
What the? Why?
So 2 weeks ago, I came to church fellowship, and I spoke to you, and you told me just wait and see. And I wait and see, and I see evil. I see evil working on me, working on everybody, and then Mama. And it's interesting to see. But the whole time, I have peace, and God's showing me it's okay. So now I just filed unemployment 2 days ago. So now I have no job.
So what did you do to get fired, though?
So I went back to Hong Kong to visit my dad because he got so sick and he literally very close to death. So I chose to went back to see him, and I supposed to continue in my job because I was on a probation period. So I'm not supposed to take any time off or any sick leave until I meet the enrollment goal.
Oh.
But I choose to go visit my dad.
And so, is he dead now?
No.
Your father did not expire?
No, he's still alive, but he is. He's in the nursing home right now.
And so, why did you think he was at the verge of death to the point you would take a risk at losing your job?
I was so emotional. I had so much fear, and I couldn't focus on my job. And I was thinking I should go back to visit him. If I don't go, I might regret. So that's why I chose.
Wow! And so you were so emotional. I get so emotional, baby.
Yeah.
You were so emotional, and you have fear.
But it's so hurt, that emotion.
You had emotions and fear about your father may expire?
Yeah.
And why did you have that?
From Satan, the other thoughts.
And if you knew that, why would you take the risk of losing your job to go and see him if you knew you were doing it out of fear and you were emotional?
At the same time, I do feel my job is kind of taking away from me, from my life. So I have to drive 3 hours a day to go to work, and I have to stay up 7 p.m. just to avoid the traffic coming home. So every day when I come home at night, 9 p.m. I go take shower, and then I go sleep, and then 6 a.m. I go get up to work. So literally, I don't really have time for my marriage, for my husband.
Oh, so it was more than just because you were on probation. It was just it's
everything,
right?
Yeah.
And so are you going to get a job closer to your home, or are you just going to get unemployment?
Right now, we'll get the unemployment, and then we'll just see myself, and we'll see what God's gonna take me, because most of the time that I in the last few days I had so much thoughts, and me and my husband got into so much arguments, so I'm kind of have to slow down a little bit for myself.
Oh, I see. You argue with your husband?
What's that?
You argue with your husband? You fight?
Because I listen to Satan, and I get so emotional too.
And why don't you stop arguing with him? Why argue with him?
Well, because I want to prove that I am right. So I was, but ended up my husband said, "Listen." So I kind of have to listen, because if I continue, it will be bad, very bad.
Why don't you cut out listen to the devil? Why don't you stop listening to the devil and obey your husband?
Well, that is the challenge part, that when the thoughts comes, it comes. So the thoughts come first, and then we'll have the emotions. I can feel the feeling, and it feels like I have so much fear because I may not get a job later on. I have fear that I may not be able to pay my bills, so I have all this fear. That's why I can't, help it. It's just there.
And in knowing that it's your imagination and it's not real, why do you keep listening to the thoughts? Why don't you just stop listening to them so you be at peace?
Yeah, finally I have to stop because I realized that I went too far.
Do you have children?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. Why don't you just stop listening, work on yourself, stop listening to the thoughts, and obey your husband?
That is the thing that I'm doing right now. So
okay.
Yeah, but it's very, very challenging. All these thoughts coming.
Yeah. Well, are you doing the silent prayer?
Yes, I do.
Okay, stay with that, all right?
Yes.
Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it.
Yeah.
Well,
I just want to call you, talk to you, and say hi, and I love you. Have a good day, and wish everybody and the mama hear your message. Go and forgive, and just let go of God.
That's right. Well, I love you too, Grace. I wish you well, and call me again, all right?
Yes, we'll do. Bye-bye, Jesse.
Bye. Amazing. Amazing. Let me go to Josh out of Georgia. Georgia on my mind. Hey, Josh, get it off your chest.
Yes, sir. I was calling for the biblical question.
Do you recognize a wave of pain that overtakes you?
Yeah, I do, and but I think very rarely. Like not. Okay.
What do you mean very rarely? Very rarely do you recognize it?
Yeah.
And why is that?
Because I always find something real quick to distract me before it gets bigger. I don't just sit in it.
And knowing that, why don't you sit with it so you can overcome it? Why don't you do it that way at this point in life?
I want to, and it's like a reflex to I don't know. It's like a reflex. Like, why are you sitting in pain? Go eat something or go watch something. But yeah, that's what I want to do is catch that and be able to sit in it.
Amazing. Very interesting, Josh.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me ask you, you're a truck driver. Were you on strike when the drivers were on strike too?
No, I do port work sometimes. I go pick up loads at the port, but the company, they just keep me away from the ports. They keep me away from the hurricane. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, away from all of that.
So the truck strikes were just for the port work?
Yeah, that's for the workers. I didn't feel nothing. Yeah.
Oh, good. So you're like a longshoreman.
No, that's the people that work on the. I pick up the loads from the longshore. I have the TWIC card, where I know all the truckers know about the TWIC card. That's where you go. I pick up loads from there every now and then.
But the strikers are longshoremen.
Yeah, those are.
I got you. Well, I'm glad you didn't have to go on strike with that stupid union deceiving the people.
Yeah. They. I used to be with a union, and it didn't work out for me with the union. So
it's weird because human beings are not in control of themselves. That the union can tell the workers they need more money, and then they tell the workers, "Okay, we're going to strike. We're going to make the company give you more money." And the union people, because they're so blind and angry, they can't see, and so they'll go on strike, and then they finally get the money. But what happens is the union dues go up. Now you got to pay the union more money. So the union get most of that money. And then the union bosses, the people that run the unions, they're getting buku salaries. They get like, when I used to work for the union, I made buku money. Wow. But they can deceive the workers to make them think they're getting something when they're really not getting anything, because they know human nature is never satisfied. It always want more. Enough is never enough. And so the union organizers, the union management, they know how to manipulate the nature of human beings, the workers, to make the workers think they want more money. And the workers be out there on the picking line, and they be chanting and walking up and down the road and all that, and look like idiots. And they don't know they're being used for personal gain.
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. It's kind of like the military, too, or sending kids off to wars, you know?
Yeah.
They're Patriot, kind of that same thing. Just
It's people being used that don't know it because of their ego.
Yeah.
They can tell you, oh, we got to go to war. And let's say you don't really want to go. You don't feel like going. You don't want to go. You don't want to put your life at risk. And they tell you, well, you're not a patriot. If you don't go to the war, you got to be a patriot. And then they give you an award, and now you feel like a patriot. And your mama put the flag up in the window, and she brag about you. You feel like a patriot. And you go into war, and you find out later you went to war for no reason, except the people who encouraged the war make money off of it. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's a cold world, man.
You can say that again. Grandpa tell me about the kiddo, and now you feel, and then when you come back from the war, you lost your limb, you lost your mind, you lost your wife, you lost your kids. And then they tell you, we don't have anywhere to put you up to live. And you end up living on the streets, becoming a drug addict. They won't even take care of you. But they'll take care of the illegal alien. They'll give the illegal alien free hotel cards, free everything, but they'll let you live right there on the street in front of the hotel door. And you're supposed to be this patriot that died so that everybody else can live. I mean, you got wounded for others to live, and all you have left is a false image of being a patriot. And patriot is just a word that has no meaning.
Well, yeah.
I'm sorry, I got to run, Rick.
No problem.
John, thank you, man.
No problem. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
What a cold world.
Cold world, man.
Yeah, human beings are evil. When God said the human heart is wicked beyond what we can imagine, that was the truth and nothing but the truth.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy.
Sure. Thank you, man.
All right. Bye. 888-775-3773. Let me go to VERDA, a first-time caller out of California. VERDA, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, Jesse. How are you?
All is well. Thanks for calling.
Great. All is well here, too. I just want to let you know I love listening to you. I listen to you all the time.
Thank you.
Today is the first day I actually looked up what the silent prayer was and did it along with you. And I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
I think that's what I need, is to let all those thoughts go.
Yes.
And not try to be in control of everything.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, if you stay with it, and I want to encourage you to stay with it, you eventually will have a thoughtless mind. You will have a clear mind. And you will only use your thoughts in a proper way for practical thinking, not to live by, but for practical thinking. And you will have a clear mind, and you will have peace on earth. You stay with it no matter what. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it.
I promise you too.
A promise? To what now?
I said I promise you, and I promise me.
That's right. Yeah, you stay with it, and if the whole world turned against you, if whatever happened, you stay with it, and I'm telling you, you're gonna have perfect peace.
Thank you, and keep up the good work. I love listening to you. I just showed my dad one of your shows the other night, and he loved it.
Right on.
He said, how do you spell his name? He's going to look you up.
Amazing. Well, thank you for that. All right.
You're welcome. You have a great day.
All right now. Amazing.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. Super chat.
Super chat.
Super.
Jets.
Mindful Maverick 00 bought a coffee. Hi, Jesse. I want to clarify that I'm an African American, not a black American, because I actually emigrated from Africa.
The real deal.
I'm a conservative who happens to be an atheist, though I find that a bit ironic. Haha. I do believe racism exists, but I also think there's a reason for it and that it can be overcome. I believe African American families should focus on self-improvement and embracing individuality rather than looking for someone to blame.
Yeah.
Nigerian Americans, for example, been successful immigrants prioritizing education and personal growth.
Amazing.
Before I ask my question, I just want to say I really admire how you can stay calm during intense conversations, especially when dealing with aggressive callers. My question is, how do you manage to remain calm during heated arguments?
Overcome anger. Forgive so that God can forgive you, and he will remove the spirit of anger from the heart, and you will see there's never, ever, 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 ever a reason to be angry, no matter what. Anger is a false life. It's not real. A life of anger is death. So drop the anger. Forgive your mother. Forgive your father. Don't ask for forgiveness. You forgive them, and God will forgive you because mama ain't going to forgive you. You say, Mom, I'm sorry for resenting you. I was wrong. I realized you couldn't help yourself. I should be forgiving you. Like you had something to do with your life. Forgive her and your father, and God will forgive you. He will take away the spirit of anger. I'm just blown away that in America today, people are told that anger is normal, and that you just have to learn how to use it in the right way. You just have to control your anger. You can't control spirits. Anger is an evil spirit. So forgive, and you will have that perfect peace of heart. Then you won't hold anything against anyone, and then you can't get angry. What's up? Thank you.
Thank you, Mindful Maverick 00.
Yeah. That was a long answer.
Well, it was a long coffee, but it was very smooth.
Yeah.
Timothy over on X Live yesterday says, crying is evil. You're in your thoughts if you're crying. All thoughts are all lies about anything.
I cried over you. What a fool I've been. Now your time to cry over me. Crying is a waste of time. Now, if cry should happen, it should just happen by itself, come and go. Don't hold on to it. Don't boo-hoo, don't run snot down your nose and all that kind of mess. Amazing. Thank you.
Aries 1 with a diamond, no message yesterday.
Thank you.
Pastor Chatelet with a Rumble rant. He is a monthly supporter on the Rumble crew.
You got to know how to rumble. Thank you.
Forgive others by the same measure we forgive, so shall our Father in heaven see and forgive us.
It's amazing. One thing I realized about forgiveness, when you truly forgive, you stop bringing trauma into your life. Your whole life just started to change. Forgiveness, the absence of anger, is a very loving, powerful, freeing up thing to do for yourself. It is life itself. Amazing. Forgive. Thank you, Pastor.
D-Man Stanpan asks, what about righteous? This is over on X Live. What about righteous anger? What's your thoughts, GLP?
Forget about righteous anger because you have no clue as to what that is, right? But when you overcome, quote unquote, unrighteous anger by overcoming the hatred of the heart, you will know what righteous anger is. And a lot of Christians, they lie to themselves. Well, I have righteous anger. No, you don't.
Yeah. Don't we all think that?
I have righteous anger. Ain't nothing righteous about your anger. But overcome anger of the heart, and you would know what righteous anger is. I'm so sorry they put that in the Bible. Righteous anger.
I don't even think they did.
Well, where did that come from then? That's not in the Bible?
I don't think the words righteous anger is in the Bible. Maybe there is one thing where David in the Bible, in Psalms, he says, I hate them, God. I hate them with a perfect hatred. The evildoers.
Right.
And then I think that's...
So there's nothing in the Bible that
I'm pretty sure
righteous
there's
anger?
not. I'm pretty sure there's not.
Well, where did the Christians get that from then? They have righteous anger.
There may be something that's kind of similar to the idea. You know how like your one friend, Jaden, called in and said it was implied?
I was like blown away. Jaden saying it's okay to imply what the Bible's saying. You know you're in your head.
And it doesn't even necessarily imply what you're thinking that it implies.
I know, just another thought. But there's, are you sure there's nothing in the Bible that says righteous anger? I just believed it because I hear it all the time. I don't even know if I ever read it. Maybe I did.
Yeah.
But there's no all righteous
I mean,
anger.
God, it talks about God's anger and God's indignation and God's wrath. And it does mention Jesus looking around with anger at the Pharisees or whoever grieved at their hardness of heart. But other than that, I know it says to get rid of anger.
Now that makes sense to me. I've never read it, so I just feel maybe I missed it somewhere. So Omid is telling me, my PR guy, he said nothing in the Bible that says that. They say that when Jesus chased out the money changers, it was righteous. So they made up the word righteous anger?
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about how Jesus was feeling.
They made up that word?
They might have. We'll find out.
Lord have mercy. That is mind-blowing to me. I've been hearing that so long, though I don't remember reading it. I've been hearing it for so long, I just thought they have read it somewhere. Like the Christians believe that Jesus is God, right? There's nowhere in the Bible where it says Jesus is God. But they all believe it. So they'll believe in another lie about righteous anger?
Maybe.
Because I've been wondering, well, when you don't have anger, you don't have anger. And you don't think of that as righteous or anything. It's just, you know, you're free. Wow, Hank. That's deep. Okay. Where was I? Thank you.
Urinal Chill is over on Rumble. He's also a monthly supporter. Says, yep, I boo-hooed when my pops cried when I apologized for resenting him. One of the few times I ever saw him cry.
Amazing. Nice. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. Thank you.
Shout out to yesterday's top contributors on the D-Live crew, Aries 1, Games for Rec, Misty, and the rest. Thanks, guys.
Thank you all. I do appreciate it.
Over on YouTube, Ega 01117. I might have added an extra one. So what happens over talking about having the blues after a bad breakup and resentment towards your father and stuff like that?
Right.
Church clip. So what happens when you did forgive your mother and you have a heartbreak happens? What's going wrong?
What happened?
What if you've forgiven your mother, but you still get your heart broken with some gal or something?
Well, you're still looking for fake love. That's all. It was just fake love. And it was ego love. And so just learn from it and overcome the ego. Let that die. Let it pass. Let the memories of it go. Don't dwell on it. Don't think about it. It's just a thought. Quick break. Back in a moment. Thank you all. I do appreciate it.
Read the rest later.
Yeah. Back in a moment. I recommend you get a copy of my book, From Rage to Responsibility. I write about how the spirit of anger was taken away from me 29 years ago. I forgave my mother who tried to turn me away from my father, and I returned to my father, and through him, my Father on earth, and through him I was able to return to God. No man or woman can return to God unless you go through the Son. And men are sons of God. There may be weak, pathetic examples of it, but it's the spiritual order of life. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. So get from race to responsibility. I write about that. Go to my website, rebuildingtheman.com for an autographed copy, or call 800-411-BOND. And donate to my nonprofit, Bond, the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. We are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. Okay, 888-775-3773, 888-77-JESSE. Quick announcement. I do personal shout-outs for you, and they are amazing. Amazing shout-outs. Encouragements, shout-out, weddings, congratulations, anniversaries, birthdays, whatever. I do them for you, and they are amazing. Go to Cameo, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, CAMEO.com/Jesse Lee Peterson, and check out our merch. Amazing merch. Merch for the merch. Mugs and T-shirts and Great White Hope hoodies and Tom Like a Mug, Big Mama Michelle, the amazing Tar Baby, and that's a nice shirt, and a hat with amazing Tar Baby. And the other stuff, go to rebuildingtheman.com/store. Rebuilding the Man, just T-shirts. Rebuilding the Man, rebuilding the family, by rebuilding the man. Check it all out. All right. And don't forget to over there on X. Hi, X. JLP Talk on X. And JLP on Instagram. Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram. And I'm trying to remember by rote. Rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. And Cozy/JLP Talk, where Christ is King. Cozy.tv. Cozy.tv. All right, like, follow, ring the bell, subscribe. Y'all know what to do. Follow us on X and Instagram. So, hey, read that to me real fast. Okay. I mean, for me out there.
So, you know how Ephesians 4:26-27 says, "Be ye angry and sin not. Let not the sun go down upon your wrath." And then 27 says, "Neither give a place to the devil."
Amazing.
Well, they always skip how 4 verses later it says, "Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. Be kind to one another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another, even as God for Christ's sake has forgiven you."
Deep.
But that Ephesians 4:26 is parallel to Psalm 4:4, which says, "Stand in awe and sin not," or "Tremble," another translation says, "and do not sin."
Wow.
"Commune with your own heart upon your bed and be still."
Be still and know. I know for a fact the greatest thing you can do for yourself is to be still, to let go. Let go up here. Whatever happens up here, let it happen. Let it pass. and be done with it. That's deep, man. Thank you, Hake.
Yep.
What the? Let me go to Jonathan out of California. Jonathan, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, morning, Jesse. Happy Friday.
Thank you, Jonathan.
How you doing, man?
All is well.
Cool. So yeah, I just wanted to so Gavin Newsom just did this thing where they can't make you show an ID anymore to vote.
Right, I heard that yesterday.
Yeah, and then so
I think I saw it on the local news.
Yep. And so they're saying that they're letting all these illegal aliens flow in here because they want a better life or whatever. But it is because of votes, for sure. I've seen it firsthand. Like, I used to go to the Day Worker Center, which is basically like a official Home Depot parking lot kind of dealy. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and so they were the Democrat, some organization came in there and they were literally training these guys how to vote, and they had it was like only
come back. Hey, Jonathan, come back close to your phone.
So they were training everybody how to vote, and they had only Democrat ballots on there. And it was like, so I was like, "Where's Trump on this?" And I mean, they're just getting everybody like, "You got to vote Democrat. You got to vote Democrat."
Well, and like I was saying earlier, the human heart is wicked and it's evil. And when angry people are desperate, they want power, they want control, they do anything for money. And that's what you see happening right now. And that's why I was saying earlier to the people, everybody know how bad things are out there now. They know how the economy is. They know how the borders are wide open. They know about the crime. They know what's going on. They don't need anyone to tell them not to vote for the Democrats anymore. But they go and vote for them anyway. How do you explain that, Jonathan?
Yeah, they're crazy, man. And then, I just, you ask Gavin Newsom, you're like, hey, so why are you making it so, they can't show ID? And they say, oh, because blacks they don't know how to get an ID. It's like, oh my God.
They always use black to get evil done. They always say, well, it's for the blacks. It's because the blacks this and the blacks that. And unfortunately, the blacks go along with it because they think that's love. But you're absolutely right. They always do these horrible things, but they say they're doing it in the name of the blacks, for the blacks. What a mess.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, hopefully Donald Trump would get in there in spite of what's all this stuff that's happening. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to because I want to just tell everybody, it's totally happening, that they're going to try to steal this thing. You're allowed to vouch for 8 people, and that's how they get the illegal alien votes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so we all need to go out and vote for Donald Trump and get everybody we know to vote for him. I mean, we need to really, really get on that because they're super organized.
Everybody and their mama need to get out and vote for the Great White Hope. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. I think your phone is a little weird, but thank you. David out of Texas. There's one line open, 888-77 Jesse. David, welcome to the show.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, David.
I just wanted to mention something, get off my chest Friday. I found out earlier in the week that they were using drone technology in the war in Ukraine. And it might seem like a helpful thing right now, but I'm really concerned. Just getting off my chest, I'm really concerned about the escalation of this drone and AI warfare. They're starting to put guns on those robot dogs, and it's just I think it devalues human life when we're using machines to just kill people like that.
Yeah.
And like I said, it might be working right now in our favor, or those people that think that it's doing any good over there. I don't think we should be doing anything over there to begin with, and I don't think that war should have happened at all.
I agree, man. I don't think we should be over Ukraine. And that Ukraine, man, he seemed to just be for the money. He always begging for money.
Yep. And the other thing, too, is, you know, they're using that over there. Pretty soon it's going to be in our own backyard, and they're going to be using it everywhere.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then knowing how evil our government is, it's not, we shouldn't take that risk, man. It's just, we should not say yes to that. We need to vote out these people and then vote in people that are going to work for us. And because this government we have now is out of control, man.
Yes, I agree.
It's just totally out of control.
I had a question for you, if you don't mind, just one thing real quick.
Okay.
And, you know, I know that you always say that it's not, that you really shouldn't go looking for a relationship
right.
with somebody else. But, you know, here's my question. Let's say, let's say you need money, right?
Right.
Well, then you got to look for a job. Let's say you need some skills. Well, then you look for a skill or something. So why is it not the same thing that if you want a partner or something that you go look for one? Why do you not do it in that case?
Because you're looking for emotional support. And the ego is evil, and you're just keeping it alive. And even if you went out and you found a woman, all you're going to do is fight. It's not going to work because it's for the ego. It has nothing to do with a real need. Like getting a job is a real need, a practical need that you need to function on earth. You need a roof over your head. You need food on your table, right? And those are just practical needs. It's not ego needs. But when you're out there looking for a girlfriend or a wife, that's total ego, emotional need. And that's why it never works. Have you noticed relationships don't work?
I think a lot of people force relationships to work because they want it so badly.
No, you can't even force. A forced relationship is not working.
Right.
And those relationships that come together without looking for it, those are the ones that work, but they're rare, if any, because people think that what you're thinking, that you should go out and look for it. They don't work because they're ego emotional needs, and that would never work.
So here's an example. So I work from home, and it would be really easy for me to just stay home all day and never go out and never meet anybody. But so I need to get out of my comfort zone and start going to social things and events and get more into the community.
And why do you need to do that?
Well, because then I won't meet anybody, right?
And what would happen if you didn't go out and meet people? What would happen to you?
Is it a beta thing to say I'd be lonely?
Absolutely beta.
Beta.
Right. And then you get up and you go out to meet someone to try to get rid of the loneliness. And then you meet someone, and all you would do is enhance the loneliness, because when that romance thing wears off, and it will, you right back to your loneliness, and then you cry again.
I didn't say I was crying.
You will if you did that. What a mess!
What a mess.
Thank
you, Jesse. I appreciate it.
You should never do what you want, but you should never, ever, 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 but never, ever, 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 ever look for anyone to validate or support your emotional quote unquote need because you've only found someone to support evil that made a home in you. It's not even real. It's evil. It's an illusion.
I see what you're saying. Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome, buddy. Amazing call. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
Bye. 888-775-3773. Rockette out of Georgia on my mind. Rockette, welcome to the show.
Hi, Jesse. How are you?
All is well, Rockette.
I have a question about ego. I felt one day I was sitting at home and I just was feeling really, really sad and just down that day. Is that ego?
100%.
Oh, and I asked my husband, I said, I feel so sad today. And I had a lot going through my mind. And I said, I just feel so sad today. And he was like, yeah, that's ego death.
You were in your head, absolutely.
How do you know which ego, or do you categorize egos? Like, how does that work? Or am I thinking too much?
What do you mean by that? I don't understand that question.
How do you know which ego died? Or is there, I know you said, I watched the show the other day, and you said we have different egos. They show up in the form of hate, hatred, vanity, or what have you. How do you know which ego died off? How do I know?
Well, what it really is, they are evil spirits. There's this big Satan that overrules the little Satan, the little devils. And the small devils are called sadness, loneliness, depression, suicidal thought, fake love, hate. Those are little devils. And when you, like the other day when you were feeling that way, had you sat through it and just watched it and did nothing about it, but just notice it and move on, go about your day, don't look for anything to save you from that, then whatever you were feeling that day, that spirit or those spirits would have been taken away from you, and they would have to go and find a home and make a home in someone else.
But I didn't do anything. I just sat in it, and like towards the, I didn't try to, I'm trying to think. What was I saying? I rebuke you and all of that stuff like that. You're not supposed to say any of that, right?
Right. You're just supposed to see it.
Okay.
And don't call it you. Don't say that's me.
Yeah.
Don't say those are my thoughts. Those are my feelings, right? They're not yours. They're, the thoughts are in the mind and the pain is in the body, but it's not you. You're not your body. You're not the pain. You're not the thoughts. And when it's gone, you will know. Don't worry about how you will know. You will know when they're not there.
Okay. I understand what you're saying. I think I was just questioning, like, why am I thinking about this? Like, I know, why am I thinking about this so strong? I just kept asking myself that, like, what's making me think about this?
Nice.
I know I started to try to, separate myself from my thoughts, but when that happened, I just questioned, like, is this ego death? I didn't know what ego death was or what it felt like.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ego death is when those people, you could see those spirits and not call them you, that's the death that all human being, and even Christ, that's what Christ went through, that death, that ego death. And that's what we have to go through. And when it's over, you're going to have a clear mind and perfect peace. You have a brand new nature. Those things would no longer be a part of your nature.
Oh, okay. How many times do I have to go through that?
1,000 times a day.
Oh, gosh. Really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Don't you worry about how many times. Be willing to go through it as many times as necessary. Endure. Don't worry about how long. Don't worry about how painful it is. Let all that go and be willing to endure this death. That's the only way you're going to overcome it. You must die, so be willing to endure it. Let it happen.
Yeah. I see why you say some people give up.
Yes.
And I just kept saying that to myself. I see why Jesse say some people give up. Because, oh my gosh, that is not a good feeling.
It's not. It's painful. But I got news for you.
I'm ready to hear it.
The death get worse. You haven't experienced the real pain of it yet.
Oh, gosh. Are you serious?
Yeah. But the beauty is, now that you are aware of that pain, you know it's not you, you're losing a relationship with it. And as a result of losing the identity of it, the relationship with it, you're going to be able to do whatever pain you got to do because you're going to know you're not enduring. It's the thing that is dying, that evil is going through the death, not you. You're not feeling evil is feeling it. Evil is feeling the loss of having to leave your body because the only way it can be physically aware, present, is that it got to live in a human being. And so it cries, it yells, it screams. It's painful for the evil to leave your body. It doesn't want to leave you. And because it's not connected to God at all, you got to realize that the devil and all his little demons are totally disconnected from God. It can't get any love. It can't get any freedom. It can't get anything. And the devil don't like that. And so he tried to make other people feel what he feels so that he can feel alive. And that's why he brings a lot of pain upon you.
Wow.
I know that's a lot, but it's not you. It's just the devil in you. So stay with it and don't worry about how painful, how long it takes. You endure to the end and you will get the prize.
I will, because going through that first one, I can't go back now because...
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I'm going to keep with it. I'm not going to stop because I can't give up on myself. I'm too competitive.
And you're going to find that there is nothing to go back to because you're overcoming time, so you don't have a past to go back to. You're overcoming time, so there is no future. All you have is right now.
Yeah, I believe that.
Amazing. Yes.
Amazing. One more question I have for you. If you're seeking to be healing from an illness that you've had, how does that work? How do you deal with that?
How do you deal with what?
Just asking God for healing or seeking to be healed. How do you deal with that? How does that all work in? Do you just sit still?
That is a really good question. Can you hold for me?
Sure.
Let me take a break. I got to take a break. I'm at the top of another hour here. One more hour to go. Hake is coming in with the hate news, not the fake news. The guy with the good hair. I'll be back in a moment. 888-77-JESSE. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
Some serious mess going on in the world. This is the end of hour 2 already of the Jesse Lee Peterson Show. It is Friday, October 4th, AD 2024. The lines are full, guys. JLP will be right back to your calls. We'll get to the super chats and some great stories. But first, Hake News, not fake news. After the Jesse Lee Peterson Show, the Hake Report. Then no Joel Friday on Friday, but the Fallen State. And then American Anchor Baby, Nick Stream. The American Anchor Baby, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Central, 7 Eastern, I do believe. And then Church with Jesse Lee Peterson on Sunday. And shout out to the men, great men's forum last night. It is always a highlight of the month. So cool. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN, says in the Middle East, Israeli military vowed to continue striking Hezbollah targets in Beirut, and southern Lebanon after launching fresh strikes on the Lebanese capital overnight. Amid escalating tensions, the Middle East is bracing for Israel's response to Iran's ballistic missile attack earlier this week. That was pretty shocking to Hake anyway. Analysts say the growing escalations on multiple fronts have put the region on the precipice as the first anniversary of Hamas's October 7th attack, that is coming in a few days, on Israel draws nigh. Israeli officials also have issued evacuation orders for more villages in southern Lebanon, signaling a broadening of its ground incursion. They're invading. Roughly 1 million people been displaced since Israel escalated its war with Hezbollah. And shout out to all of them, right? We wish them well. Bird flu. 2 California lawmakers, I wish. No, I don't wish. Sorry. 2 California farm workers tested positive for bird flu. The scared woman-led unchristian CDC confirmed on Thursday, making them the first and second presumptive positive cases of bird flu in humans in the state, in men and women, maybe women. The 2 worked on different dairy farms in California's Central Valley. That's up north, I think. And both farms had cattle known to be positive for H5N1 avian influenza, also known as bird flu. Health officials say the risk to the general public remains low. They want to keep people's expectations simmer down. Still, they're watching this virus closely because each time it infects a new human host, it can change in ways that may allow it to adapt better to people. If that occurs, there are fears that it could spark a wider outbreak. With these additions, there have been 16 cases of avian flu in human beings in the United States since March. Is human beings evolution propaganda? Most of them have been connected to ongoing poultry and dairy cattle outbreaks. What a mess. CostCo. Did you know CostCo is selling platinum bars for $1,089? CostCo is expanding its collection of precious metals, and platinum, silver, and they're already had recent success with gold, they say, according to CNN. Hadn't heard that. Eminem is going to be a grandpa, so why does he still have his adolescent anger? Maybe he needs to listen to JLP. He's also known as Slim Shady. This is Commie Nonsense Network news, but I kind of am interested in it. The rapper announced via a music video that his daughter, Haley Jade, age 28, who is married, is pregnant. She's expecting a child. Nice. Congratulations. And did you hear this? Ex-Starbucks CEO, pro-gay, by the way, broke a labor law. I do not celebrate this. Starbucks' Howard Schultz, probably not a Christian, no relation perhaps to Charles Schultz, I'm not sure, who was interim CEO at the time. Oh, he was interim CEO? He broke federal labor law in 2022 by telling a barista, that's a person who serves coffee, if you're not happy working at Starbucks, you can go work for another company. That's what he said. And you can read more about the incident on Commie Nonsense website if you like. But that doesn't sound like a breaking of labor law. So much for the First Amendment, huh? I'm James Hake, and far be it from me to defend Starbucks. Now back to JLP, Hour 3.
stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show already. What the? What to do? Joel gave me a donut just now in a little packet. It's so good. And so during the break, I was trying to eat it with some coffee. Oh, my God, it was good. One thing about Joel, he know how to find good food. He like a fat person. He know how to find good food. But he's not fat. What the? Joel Friday TV every day except Friday at 11 a.m. Rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. You can get involved by, and we're uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. I didn't say all that, right, Nick? I can't remember. I was up late last night. We had the men's forum, so I can't remember. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. And Bond JLP Cash App. My biblical question for this week: do you recognize a wave of pain that overtakes you? Do you recognize a wave of pain that overtakes you? And if you're busy out and about and you don't have time to just sit and watch, but you like to listen to the show live, no matter where you are and what you're doing, anywhere in the world, you can call 605-615-4131, 605-615-4131. All right? It's Friday. It's the third hour of the show already. Every Friday is like get it off your chest day. Every Friday, and it doesn't matter what you're doing or what you look like you're doing. Express yourself.
You Tom like a mug. You need to go and get yourself bleached, because everything you say about black people, and you're sitting up there looking like a tar baby.
It might sound like a semantics argument, but he's a gray alien.
I wonder if he's been smoking pot.
It's just merely because I've been conditioned to do that.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Good. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Just from what I've heard you say, and you running for the school board, ain't no way in the world I'd vote for you.
They don't make them like they used to.
As the nation's first female president,
Claudia Sheinbaum officially becomes president on October 1st.
It's a new world.
Since the beginning of the year, she's been locked in a battle with the Board of Trustees over accusations she misused taxpayer money.
My problem is everybody's problem. Everybody want crime stopped.
They just don't make them like they used to.
And then Elon's mother says I was very nasty to her. I wasn't. She just made it up.
How dare you? Death to all of them.
From AM 1090 WTSB.
It's not work, it's a labor of love.
Carl Lamm has met so many celebrities.
Had a good, close relationship with Roy Acuff. And
Amazing. Wow. Open Line Friday. What an amazing video. Wow. Open Line Friday. Get it off your chest day. I want to go back to Rocket out of Atlanta, Georgia. I held her over because we ran out of time there. She had a question about, was it about healing or something, Rocket?
Yes.
Restate your question.
How are you? What state or how are you supposed to be when you're asking God to heal your body? like, how, like, are you supposed to still sit still with it when you're doing the silent prayer, or just know that he knows that you're looking for healing because you've been asking?
Here's how you do it. If you got a physical medical problem, go try to find yourself a good doctor, which is hard to do today because these doctors are dumb now. They're just about medication and making money. But look for a good doctor so you can get the proper doctor care. And from that point forward, don't even think about the situation. Stay away from thoughts about it because you're not your body. Stay away from thoughts about it. And if God healed the body, it'll work. If not, you'll be just fine. But if you put thoughts into it, you're going to end up destroying yourself. Because you're going to worry. You're going to take bad advice from all kind of weird people. And it's not going to go well for you. But if you put no thought into it, you eat right, you can drink water and do what you're supposed to be doing, of course. But do not get into thinking about it. And then God, if it meant for God, for you to be healed, he will heal you. You'll be fine.
Gotcha.
But do not get into thinking about it. You're going to worry. You're going to overreact if you do.
Yeah, okay.
And don't let people feeling all sorry for you and whining it. Oh, I'm praying for you. Oh, poor you.
Yeah, I hate that word.
My prayers go out to you. Their prayers ain't no good.
No.
But don't make a big deal of it. Stay out of thoughts about it.
Okay.
And make sure you find a good doctor that research and do work and not just give you pills and tell you go sit down.
Yeah, that's the main issue with docs right now. I'm noticing.
It's crazy. It's hard to find a real informed, good doctor nowadays. It's just stupid men and women with degrees that work for nothing.
Yeah.
But they don't even know what they're doing at all. They have no idea.
Yeah. I do believe you on that because I've seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
It almost makes you nervous when you go to like a facility, doctor's office or a hospital. You really have to have someone there with you.
Yeah.
Or be very, very alert and aware of what's going on, what they're doing. You really have to now, more than ever.
And when you're seeing the doctor, don't let them rush you in and out of the office. You make sure you ask your questions and make sure they answer your questions. Don't just, because right now doctors see human beings as machines, as money-making machines. So they just rush you in and rush you out, the next patient, the next patient, and the next patient. And they don't even want to take time to answer your questions.
Yeah.
Don't let that happen to you. If they don't, doctor, I asked you a question. Answer my question. What's the...
Yeah. I don't rely on them to give me the answers. I just go look it up myself.
Nice. Well, do what you see is best for you.
Yeah. Okay.
I wish you well, Raquette.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate your help today. Thanks for talking with me.
You're totally welcome. Amazing. Okay. Bye now. 888-7753-773. So I want to go back to the phone. There's some sushi. And then my experts are coming in. I have a question for my experts. And they didn't know I was going to ask a question. I just realized right now I want to ask them about this thing that I'm about to read to you. But let me go to Jacob out of Utah. He's been waiting a minute. Jacob, thanks for calling and thanks for holding you on the air.
You're so welcome, Jesse. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
So I called about a month ago about wanting to be a dad, and you said, stop it and go forgive your parents and do the silent prayer. So I went that weekend. I had 3 dates lined up.
Hey, Jacob, speak right into your phone. Are you on your speaker or something?
Yes. Sorry. Yeah, I'll switch. They told me to do that, too, and I forgot to do that.
What a beta.
Beta!
Beta! Go ahead.
So yeah, I called last time, and you told me to forgive my parents. So that weekend, after I got off the phone with you, I sold my dates that weekend, and I went home instead. I went 4 hours north, and I forgave my parents.
Nice. And how did it go?
It was good. It was, I feel like my mom, on one level, she got it. She was like, yeah, I didn't do great. And then there was a specific thing we talked about, and she was like, oh, well, I kind of passed that on to your dad. That wasn't me. And I was like, But it was a good conversation with my dad. He was like, he asked me for his forgiveness as well. He's been thinking about that independently. I don't think he listens to your show, but
nice.
It's been on his mind.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because that weekend I was in my thoughts. After I did that, it felt good. And then I was in my thoughts about it, and I was like, I don't know if I did this right. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. And then listening today, it sounds like the process of the ego dying. You don't just forgive your parents and you go straight to heaven. Your ego still has to die. You still have to get used to not listening to your thoughts.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So
because now that your heart has changed, and so God is bringing you out of the darkness of your heart, right? He's shining the light now so that you can see the thoughts, the ego. You can see that not you, and that nature will be taken away.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, and I am beginning to see that more as I watch my thoughts. I'm just so deep in my thoughts that the idea of not going with them seems outrageous and crazy.
I know
and
what you mean.
It seems like, how am I supposed to follow God if I'm doubting every thought? Isn't he going to be trying to communicate something to me? And if I'm throwing everything out, but that just doesn't help me. Everything that comes to me, anytime I'm like, well, what if this is it? It's always better to just throw it out.
Absolutely. God is not attempting to communicate with you at all through your thoughts, except practical thoughts. All that other stuff, it has nothing to do with God at all. He wants you to die from that, so, meaning that stop believing in it, don't trust thoughts at all, except practical thought. Don't trust them, so that he can live through you and guide you through the heart, not through the thoughts.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna keep, I want to ask, but how does that feel? But I think I just have to start. I have to keep, not trusting my thoughts, and then see how life starts to change. And I think.
Have you noticed how afraid you are not to trust your thoughts?
Yes, I have noticed that.
Isn't that amazing? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And who is the person that is afraid not to trust the thought? Who is that?
Who is the person that is afraid not to trust the thought?
Right.
That's the ego.
Right. And so don't call it you, because it's not you.
Yes. Good point. Yeah. And that's one of the most helpful things during the day. Normally I'm in my thoughts all day and they're horrible.
Yeah.
And recently, I've been trying to essentially continue the silent prayer all day. And sometimes I'm like, it's not working. I'm still in my thoughts. But that's one of the phrases that comes to mind, that this isn't me. And I just have to keep insisting on that.
Yes.
I'm so used to thinking, I can't do this. The fact that the thoughts keep coming means that I can't do this. But anyway, I can do this. And it's been a good...
The fact that you can see, when you can see that you're in the thoughts, then you're not in the thoughts. If you were in the thought, you cannot see that you're in them.
Yeah, well, it gets tricky because I'll see them, and then I'll be like, am I seeing them? Am I not getting pulled in? And that's a thought that starts pulling me in.
Yeah.
I just want so bad to to master the thoughts instead of admitting that I can't, that's, I don't know, that isn't the way to God. And so, yeah, I'm good at tricking myself really fast.
Well, stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. And every time you catch yourself out of your thought, in your thought about thinking about the past or the future, just become aware. Come back to your body, be aware of your body or something, and you're right back in the presence of God. You're right out of the thoughts when you can see that.
Yes. Okay, I'll keep with it.
If I don't know if you heard me ask this before, but I'll ask you. Ask if your parent, your name is Jacob, right?
Correct.
And if your parent had not given you a name, like Jacob, and they had not given you a name, period, who would you be?
I would still be, I'd still have my same, I don't know how to answer that. I guess I'd just be the same person. But actually, my dad has talked to me about, he gave me my name because my great-great-great-great-grandpa was also by that name, and he wanted me to be inspired by him.
But if they had never given you a name, who would you be today?
I'd be that guy that I would be. I don't know.
Are you Jacob?
Yeah, I am.
And who is Jacob?
I'm a child of God. I'm a guy that's trying to get out of my thoughts and do what's right. Yeah.
So you told me you belong to God. You told me what you tried to do, get out of your thoughts and do all that, but you haven't told me who Jacob is. You told me what you do, but not who you are.
Huh. I said that I'm a child of God.
So you belong to God.
Okay.
But that's not who you are.
Who am I? I don't know how to answer that, Jesse.
And why not?
I haven't considered it as what I am beyond what I do. I guess I have tried to consider it, but I don't know quite what to say. I don't know what's there,
And did you notice that as soon as I asked, who are you? Who are you? All you did was name what you do and who you belong to. And how do you know you're a child of God?
Well, I don't. It is a tradition that I grew up with to say everyone's a child of God. That's your true identity. And you got to remember that so that you don't do evil things.
And yet you do evil things.
Yeah.
And
yeah, as I've, I veered away from that religion for a while, and then about a year ago I've been coming back, trying to seek God, and so I went back to that religion. But yeah, finding, I don't know, your perspective is a different perspective, and so I'm wanting to try to seek God without thinking that just because I'm looking for God in the religion doesn't mean I'm finding God there. But yeah, I guess I still haven't arrived to who I am outside of what I do. And
so you don't know who you are, and you're not found God yet.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
It is amazing. I'm amazed. I'm not sure what to do about it other than continue on and try not to figure it out with my thoughts. I have a temptation to try to figure it out and throw out things as an answer in response to what you've asked me, but I got nothing.
And how does it feel to have nothing?
I'm anxious about it.
And why?
It feels like I'm supposed to have something in order to be right.
And why?
Feels like I'm supposed to. I think I've just believed this thought that there's an expectation if you're going to accomplish something or do the right thing that it's something that you have, that you get your hands on and you wield it. And so I'm like, oh no, I don't have it. I got to have it. I got to have something that seems like it.
You sound like a drunk man right now. Are you successful?
I'm successful at changing my life from what it was. But I don't think I know God yet. I agree with what you're saying. And I think that is what I would want to feel successful with, was knowing God and feeling that I'm following him.
And what is a successful feeling?
I don't know. I don't know what that would feel like.
And so why are you wanting something like that then?
I don't know. I've just believed that that'll feel better than what I'm feeling, what I'm used to feeling.
And what are you used to feeling?
In my head, identifying with feeling like a failure or.
And what is a failure feeling?
Like I'm not a good person, like I'm creating evil in the lives of others, bringing just pain into the world for others and for myself.
That's what a failure feeling feel like?
Yeah, that's what it's bringing up for me. That's when I'm feeling like a failure, those are the kinds of things I'm feeling about.
And what does a successful feeling feel like?
I'm guessing it would feel like confidence that you can see that you're bringing goodness into the world and contributing good to people's lives, and that you feel good.
Where you get that from? That idea?
Society. There's this book called Feeling Good by
Society lying to you. Why you fall for that? Let me ask, because of time, let me ask, what would happen if there was no such word as failure or success? If you never thought of failure and you never thought of success, what would that be like for you?
An image of like a happy dog just came to mind, of like, you're just smelling things, checking things out, having fun.
So why don't you let go of the word success or failure? Failure or success. Why don't you let those words go so you can be free? Because there's no such thing, and I promise you this, there's no such thing as failure or success. They're just words. It doesn't exist. There's not one person on earth that is successful. And there's not one person on earth who is a failure. Yeah.
But there's good and evil, and wanting to align with the good but failing to do so. You haven't failed. That's not failure. And you don't need to feel a certain way about it. You don't need to get caught up in your thoughts about it.
So why not get rid of the word failure and success? Or success. Why not get rid of those words and never thinking that way at all, so you can live your life?
Okay. Yeah, if failure or success comes up,
those are just empty words.
Yeah. Okay.
Because if you think of yourself as a failure, now you're going to go out to try to be successful. And then you realize you can never be successful. Now you're going back to failure. You have never met and you never will meet a person of failure or a person of success. You're not going to ever meet anyone like that. And you would never become that way because it's just words.
Yeah. Yeah, not realities. Yeah, that makes sense. That reminds me of the biblical question. I had a quick thought. I know you because of time, we need to proceed, but I just wanted to say...
Do you recognize a wave of pain that overtakes you?
Yes. And I first recognized it a couple of years ago. I had a panic attack. I was having an emotional episode, and I realized that every time I was crying like big beta male. And I noticed that the sobbing happened in conjunction with a thought. Like I would imagine what people were thinking about me or what was going on. And as the thought appeared, this feeling and the pain would push out of me. It was like it would press my body. The thought would use me.
Yes.
To live.
100%.
Yeah. It was an amazing experience, and it still comes every now and then, but now it's like it helps me notice that I'm in my thoughts. If I get tight in the chest, it's like, wait a minute, I'm believing, kind of like what you're saying, I'm believing in failure or success or whatever instead of living my life.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. I want you to know, and then I got to run.
Okay.
You will never be a failure, and you will never be successful. You have never met or seen or heard of a failure, a person who's failed, or a person who has succeeded. No such thing. It doesn't exist anywhere.
Okay. Thank you.
Amazing, huh?
I'll stop believing that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That is amazing, truly.
Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it, Jacob.
Thank you, Jesse.
All right.
Talk to you later.
All right, buddy. 888-775-3773. So my experts are here. Hake from the Hake Report from 9 to 11 a.m. Joel Friday TV, he black, at 11 a.m. Monday through Thursday. And the American Anchor Baby at 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. I want to know, do these things affect the quality of your life?
Okay.
Do these things affect the quality of life?
I'll read them out.
Check this out from X.
We got a little tweet from X, so check it out. Lewis says the quality of your life is directly related to the quality of your thoughts, words, food, sleep, fitness, purpose, environment, and relationships.
Amazing.
That's the tweet.
Thoughts, food, word, all that. So, Nick, does those things affect the quality of your life?
This guy said nothing. Like, yes. Yes. Like, I'm not going to be obtuse and be like, well, no. Like, yeah, it affects those are directly related to the quality of your physical life, but he didn't say anything with this tweet. It's like me saying this bottle of milk is blue or Jesus died for your sins. There's no understand. If you have no understanding, you won't understand that you have to overcome thoughts and words, that you can spend your whole lifetime trying to get these 8 things in.
And so they do affect the quality of your life? Your life? You say by this commercial.
Time to think.
I just got sounding all smart. I realized
the treasure chest is yes now. And I'll pick up when I come back. The treasure chest is now open on D Live. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll come back and finish this and go back to the phone calls and super chats.
I say no.
Right after this break. The treasure chest is now open. So I asked the question, are you better than a child molester? I've discovered over the 30 years of counseling, the one thing that's missing the one thing that's missing, and I think because it's not taught in the homes or talked about, we don't have examples of it, right? Is love. Our theme this year is to bring back Christianity, to love God with all our heart, soul, and might, our neighbor as ourselves, and to endure. And there, when you're in a fallen state, people will judge the molester but think they're better than the molester. And I ask, well, why do you think you're better? When I realized it doesn't matter what you think about yourself or how much you have or don't have or how you accomplish things in life or don't. If you have no love, you have nothing. Okay, 888-7753-773, 888-77-JESSE. The Hake Report coming up at 9, right after my show at the top of this hour. The Hake, H-A-K-E report.com from 9 to 11. And then at 12 today, every Friday, brand new episode of the Fallen State.tv. I talked with Earl Skacko. And Earl is a stand-up comic, actor, and host of the Inappropriate Earl podcast. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
So what's wrong with the blacks?
Are you trying to get me canceled? If I get another comedy gig after this airs, I'll be amazed. I never have once told a girlfriend, make me dinner, ho. Daddy's hungry.
You probably have one now, had you said that.
I'd probably have a wife. I'm not anti-homeless.
I am anti-homeless.
Okay, so am I. I just wanted to be nice. What's wrong with saying the N-word?
Right.
Nothing if the windows are up. I'm gonna get killed after this. Can someone walk me to my car?
At 12 noon Pacific time today. You don't want to miss this, folks. Really. This is one you don't want to miss. And support the Fallen State at thefallenstate.tv/donate. And then on locals.com there while you're there. Or go there and do it. And then the American Anchor Baby at 4 p.m. today. The American Anchor Baby at 4 p.m. Natural energy given to him by God. So I just want to finish up on this question of this how, do these things affect the quality of your life? Can you read that one more time, Nick, from Lewis?
The quality of your life is directly related to the quality of your thoughts, words, food, sleep, fitness, purpose, environment, and relationships.
And so do those things affect the quality of your life?
No.
And why you say?
They're downstream from the world inside of you. Boom.
Do they affect the quality of your life, Joel?
No, I don't think they affect the quality of your life. I think, well, it can, but I think it says in the little Bible that nothing is unclean. So those things are just things that you either do or sleep or eat.
What does that mean, nothing is unclean?
It says in the Bible that nothing is unclean. And it was referring to like food.
I see what you're saying.
But in a bigger picture, you're saying nothing is unclean. That like, in a way, God has blessed it all, even though it may not be the best for you. It is still not unclean for you to eat and do. But anyway, no, because I think that if you identify with these things, they can affect you because you're identifying with them, but they have nothing to do with, who you are, your real self.
Okay. Hey, do those things affect the quality of your life?
It said thoughts, words, food, sleep, fitness, purpose, environment, and relationships. Yeah, definitely. You kidding me? They definitely affect the quality of my life is directly related to the quality of all those things. Definitely. Yes.
What?
Yes.
They do affect the quality of life, and why?
Because I've had the negative of all these things, and it has affected the quality of my life, and I've had the slight positive, of those things, and heck yes, it's affected the quality of my life. My back hurts sometimes. I get sick sometimes. I get irritable. I am tired all the time. And alpha. I said alpha.
I used to eat like real clean, real clean.
Well, you don't do that anymore. You just gave me an amazing donut this morning. Right now.
I used to eat really clean because it would help me stay more clear in the mind, and then lean and stuff like that. And then I realized, and it was good and it helped me, but then I realized that the reason why I was feeling unclean or getting caught up in my mind and all that stuff had nothing to do with the food. It just made it worse or harder to make sense of things, but it wasn't the food. So now, over time, then I eat more stuff that may be considered not clean, but it's not affecting me mentally like the food used to. But it's good to still eat clean, guy. I ain't saying let go.
Yeah, that's true. Like, you get into exercise a little bit, or you see these people who change their diet, and then they start believing in that, but they're ignoring the spirit or whatever. So that definitely, you can't forsake one for the other.
Yeah.
Amazing. Nice. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. What's the answer?
I don't know.
Oh. So you're not giving your 2 cents yet?
No, because I haven't had a chance to really look at it yet.
Yeah.
Somebody went skating last night.
Oh, he did? Is that why his eyes are red?
Yeah. That's how I know he went skating. I just knew now that he went skating.
Do I have guilty eyes right now?
Yeah.
No.
Your eyes are all bloodshot like you've been drinking all night.
I don't think
you
were
went skating?
No.
Yes, you did.
I didn't.
And then why your eyes look that way?
I don't know. Maybe I smoked.
Look like somebody beat you.
He'll say he'll let people speculate that he smoked and start a rumor about himself.
Right.
Rather than say he went to the skating rink. He'll double tarnish his name.
I thought I put all the eye drops I possibly can in both eyes.
Ain't that much eye drops in the world.
You got to be careful with the eye drops too.
I'm telling you.
They're killing people.
I don't use that.
You could go the other way.
Yeah.
With eye drops.
I don't use eye drops.
I'm scared.
Amazing. So you went skating?
No.
You lying?
I didn't.
Why your eyes look that way?
Why do you look like you're lying?
Right.
When you say no that
They're
way.
not red. You're lying on my eyes.
You say your eyes are not red?
They're not red.
Well, you really was drinking then. I ain't drunk. What? Where's the car? Okay, I think you were there.
I rebuke.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Let me go quickly to a first-time call out of California. Philip, out of California. Philip, welcome to the show. You're on the air. Hey, Philip. Philip. Come off mute.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, Philip.
All right, cool. How you doing, Jesse?
All is well. You're on the air.
Awesome. Hey, so I know you had mentioned.
Are you in your car or something?
All thoughts are all lies all the time.
Philip.
And
Philip, hold on. Check out Philip for me there, and I'll come back to him. Tell him not to hang up. Let me go to a first-time call out of Canada. Adam. Adam, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Jesse.
Hey,
Good
Adam.
to talk to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've been watching you for about 4 years, and around that time, I had like a born-again experience, and I quit smoking pot. I was a homosexual, and so I wasn't that way anymore. I was like a totally different person. And then after a couple of years, I kind of started becoming the same person again. I was going to a church, which was new to me. And then I kind of distanced myself from the church, and I was just listening to you, like, religiously. And I figured, well, I just got to forgive my parents. So I had to find out what I had to forgive my parents for. And, yesterday I did that. I just kind of wanted to update you.
Nice. And how did it go when you went and forgave them?
Well, I think it was pretty good. But my dad kind of just, I don't know, looks at me like I'm a little bit crazy. He thinks that I'm kind of mental, like my mother. and then I spent the rest of the day kind of in my head, like arguing with my dad. And then I thought, this is ridiculous. And then I smoked weed again, and I was just thinking, and I was like, this is not good.
Well, here's what, because of time, let me tell you this. Now that you've gone and forgiven your parents, do the silent prayer, and all you have to do now for the rest of your life is to stay present. Just stay present. Don't be lost in your head about the past or the future, and don't call yourself anything. Do not, so that you can disassociate from all things, from the imagination. So don't judge yourself. Don't call yourself anything. There's no reason to feel guilty or anything. All you need to do now, Adam, is stay present and stay out of the thoughts. And I'm telling you, you have an amazing life.
Okay, I'll try.
All right. Let me know how it goes, man. I wish you well.
All right, cool. I will.
So listen, from now on, don't say you're this or that or anything. You just go about your day, do your job, and watch those thoughts, and don't call them you. I promise you, you'll be fine.
Well, should I get back with the church? Because I'm just kind of isolated.
That's fine. It's good that you do what you want. If you want to go over there and fellowship sometime, that's fine. But you want as much alone time as possible.
All right, sounds good.
All right, but I wish you well.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right. Amazing. Let me go to Philip, the first time caller there. Philip, let's try it again.
Hey, can you hear me now, Jesse?
Much better. Yes, sir.
All right. All right, cool.
Amazing.
So I had a quick question. I know you said all thoughts are all lies all the time.
Yes.
And I've been trying to kind of live my life that way, and my anxiety's actually gotten better.
Yes.
But I just started trying to get this new job, and it kind of requires a lot of backtracking on my past history and stuff like that, and a lot of investigation into it. So I've been having to think about that stuff a lot, especially when they question me about those things.
Yes.
And so it's kind of one of those things where I'm like wondering, like, what is a logical thought and what isn't, because this is something to have to do with the job. So it's like I'm having to kind of backtrack on those things that I kind of, I'm always thinking about it in my head because I really want the job a lot. But, I feel like I'm kind of attached to it. Like I'm trying to get this job because I want it a lot. But it's, I just feel like I can't stop thinking about these other things that they might ask me, or if I answer the wrong way, or if I don't remember something the right way from my past. I wasn't sure if you had like any advice on that. I'm kind of just getting it off my chest.
Number one, don't want the job that much. Don't want it for that, because you're not supposed to want for anything. And so it's enough to know to go out and try to get this job, but have a wait and see attitude. If you get it, it's fine. If you don't, it's fine. And that way you can't, those thoughts can't use you to make you go nuts. And then,
gotcha.
And then you will be able to answer every question they have for you. But if you want the job more than anything else, you're going to freak out and you're going to forget things that you should be, can easily remember. So don't want it for it that bad. Don't want for anybody or anything so badly that you go into your imagination about it.
Okay, that makes sense, because I am in my I'm in my imagination a lot. So
only because you want the job too badly.
Yeah, definitely. And I also want to touch up on your what was your question? The weekly.
Do you, or the biblical question? Do you recognize a wave of pain that overtakes you?
I was like kind of thinking about that in the car when I was listening to you, and I'm having a hard time thinking about a wave of pain that overtakes me. I don't know why, but like I was trying to think about like in pain, do you mean like depression or like anxiety or?
You know how you are thinking about this job so badly that you think that you're not going to answer the question about your own life?
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay, gotcha. No, that makes sense. I guess I do. But anyways, yeah, I got to get going to work, and I know you're busy, so I really appreciate your time, and I'll call back soon.
All right, so don't want for the job so bad you got to trip out. Have a wait and see, go and apply for it, and then see what happens.
Awesome. Hey, thank you so much, Jesse.
All right, buddy. Amazing.
All right, thanks a lot for everything.
All right. 888-7753. Oh, no. What, Jay?
I said it sounds like he has the wave of pain, but didn't recognize it.
Right.
Interesting.
Super chat.
Super chats.
Danny bought a coffee. All right, Jesse and the lads. I can't believe there are grown men asking to be led by women. Pathetic. But I understand. Can we get a beta for all those out there voting for Kamala?
Anyone that votes for Kamala Harris is a beta. What the? Ain't no way you can vote for Kamala Harris and not be a beta, male or female. What the? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Over on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Hello, sir, someone says.
Hello.
If it's not us committing the evil acts, then why do you say about these women going after Trump? Evil B-words. Bitches.
Right.
I know it's a spiritual. However, when talking to someone like that, is that necessary to call them names?
But I'm not calling them a name. And then I've learned that the bitch is a bad word. Because when I was growing up, honestly, I did not know bitch was a bad word. I thought it was just, because I've been told by the older people, it just meant a woman acting like a female dog. She's like angry and overreacting, carried on. So when a woman was called a bitch, it meant that she was out of control, right? So it was never said, and everybody was saying bitch. Look at that bitch acting like that.
So it wasn't as derogatory as it is now. Before it was a bad word, but it wasn't like crazy inappropriate.
No, it was like a cuss word.
Okay.
It was the action of another person.
Yeah.
And so it was that.
But it was used to describe somebody like in a demeaning way a little bit.
I could hear older people saying that. I saw May Pearl this morning, and she was acting like a bitch. And it automatically meant she was acting like an angry dog.
I see.
Bad dog.
I see.
And sometimes that name calling for someone with the coffee asking if it's necessary.
Yeah.
Those are like, I can't snap, wake up words.
Right.
Those are like wake up words.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're necessarily meaning it personally.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not personal at all.
It wasn't used, angrily. It wasn't like an angry thing.
That's right.
Yeah, I see.
It's like getting slapped and you you snap out of it.
That's right. Are you guys gonna start saying bitch now?
Well, I think the difference
but not on my show.
Today,
for the sake of the kids.
Millennials, we've used it in a way of being angry or disrespectful.
And y'all been told that it was a bad word.
Right. Just like the N-word.
And the women like, don't call me bitch.
Yeah.
Gregatron bought our coffee.
Thank you.
Happy Friday, Jesse and team. Hey, Jesse, where did you get your humor from? Your mother or father? Were your father or mother, he asked. Were you funny as a kid / young man?
I was funny as a kid, too. Though I'm not trying to be funny, to be real honest. I'm not. It just come from somewhere. But even as a kid, I was funny.
No More Thoughts says, thank you, Gregatron.
Yeah.
No More Thoughts. You guys talking about parents turning in their kids for flash robberies reminded me of a story my mom told me about when she was a kid. Her brothers ran from the police on a motorcycle and came home with the cops after them. My grandpa ran the cops away from his yard to the road and made my uncles go turn themselves in outside of his property. Grandpa must have thought, what a mess.
Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Amazing. Thank you.
Scotty Ben 1000. Jesse, are we going to get a Halloween background like last year?
Oh, yeah.
With the holidays,
it's
I missed.
October, I forgot.
Is it Halloween? Huh?
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're in
yes,
October.
we will. Absolutely.
With the holidays here, I miss Sean and Hassan more than ever. If we lose Hake, Nick, or Joel, he black, I don't know what I would do with the rest of my born days.
Amazing. Thank you. Right on.
Popcorn's thump cake with the coffee. Jesse, you've said that everyone has an ego has anger, correct?
Yes.
And no such thing as a little ego. You either have an ego or you don't.
Right.
Well, when you, Jesse, eat a delicious steak dinner and you have a glass of wine or a big slice of pie, that's feeding
I can't wait for a Friday meal.
That's feeding your ego. You can survive without a steak or wine. Laughing face with tears.
Not if I eat consciously.
We like things that taste good, and satisfying your desire for tasty things is only for a good feeling, i.e. the ego. Am I wrong on that? Does my food analogy make sense? If so, doesn't it mean that you and all of us have an ego and therefore anger? Hake weigh in too.
Well, God said when you eat to remember, meaning stay present. Don't go unconscious. That's why I eat. I even deliberately practice eating consciously. So that way it won't affect me in that way. Thank you, though. You're right about that otherwise. Absolutely.
Definitely got to watch that food stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you, Popcorn's Thump Cake.
Yeah.
Magila Guerrilla, as in guerrilla warfare.
Right.
Tina Peters in Colorado has been sentenced to 9 years in prison by a corrupt judge for preserving records, according to this person, on the Dominion voting machines before they could delete everything. So says Magila Guerrilla.
Amazing. What a mess.
Chicken Jimmy, 3 coffees. Thank you for keeping it real.
Nice. Thank you.
Magila Guerrilla says FEMA has spent millions on illegal aliens but has no money left over for hurricane victims in our own country. Disgusting.
And yet they okay more money for that country where they with Russia fighting.
Yeah, Ukraine.
Ukraine and all that. But they don't have money for the American folks. Amazing. Thank you.
Nikki, 3 coffees. Last year, I spent my days sitting in silent prayer. Some mornings, I'd close my eyes to pray. Then when I opened them, it was already nighttime. Made me realize 95% of what I did was just to feel better.
Amazing. Thank you.
Queen Cutie Pie. Don't forget, leaving a state doesn't mean your money leaves the state coffers. Federal government and Congress take all your money and dole it out for those states in the name of whatever program or aid they want. That's why Cali and New York State are not bankrupt. They still get your money.
Amazing. Thank you.
Wojciechowski. Pardon my butchering of your name. Hi, Jesse. Love you.
Thank you. Love you back. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Cactus Eater Bear with a diamond. Bible thumpers love to infer and make things up.
Bible Thumper Thursday. Amazing. Thank you.
Derek Hunter, Nashville. 20 coffees. Very generous. I regret not being able to join you at the men's forum last evening. Appreciate you, Jesse, and all the men of Bond.
And thank you. Thanks for your support. It was an amazing meeting last night. I'm telling you. You missed it. But next time, thank you.
3 coffees from Soul Conscious. Jesse, biblical question.
Do you recognize a wave of pain that overtakes you?
Yes, but they are ego pains unconsciously overreacting to thoughts.
Amazing. Thank you. I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday.
Zach bought a coffee.
Matter of fact, we're having a Sunday meeting, I forgot to mention that.
Indeed.
Sunday meetings at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Doors open at 10:30. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/church. 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 rebuildingtheman.com/church.
That's obnoxious.
rebuildingtheman.com. Nick is sleeping.
I know, but he woke up. There he is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Soul Conscious.
That's right.
Zach bought a coffee. Jesse, you ever notice Halloween is the most celebrated holiday in Western culture? People couldn't wait to put on their demonic decorations in September. It's like their inner demons are celebrating Halloween and not them. What a crazy world.
Amazing. Thank you. Nice.
Matt bought a coffee. Jesse, I did not grow up Christian, but I can see now my wife is possessed by evil spirits like anger that control her. I do not judge her anymore. In contrast, I'm more free than I have ever been. Thank you, Jesse and crew.
You're welcome. Stay with us. Stay with us. Stay with it.
Someone bought a coffee. I think the Old Testament mentions that God is angry so much because people of the people that was the Bible, the Old Testament perception of God.
That's right.
They're projecting themselves onto God because they have not yet been saved.
That's amazing. Deep. Thank you.
Wayne, I am that I am. Was Jesus ever angry? 1, when Jesus overturned the tables, it does not say anywhere that he was angry.
Yeah.
However, in Mark 3:5, it does directly say Jesus was angry, but this word in the Greek also means acting impulsively. And since this is the only place where it said he was angry, it could possibly be a mistranslation.
Yeah.
3, Jesse's correct. The spirit of anger is evil. Lose it. Cheers.
Just think about it. God said that, well, Jesus said God does not give you a spirit of anger. Why would God, how can you be angry if God doesn't give you a spirit of anger? You don't have it.
Nice.
What the? Thank you.
Aries 1 with a Ninja Guinea. Have the hurricane victims considered getting a second and third job like Jesse suggests?
Hopefully some of them will after this for sure.
Yeah, get tough.
Yeah.
Shout out to today's top contributors on D-Live, Aries 1, Cactus Eater Bear, Games for Rec, Kilo Alpha Tango, and the rest of the supporters. Thank you so much. And that's all for now.
Thank you all. Amazing. Thank you all very much for your support. And Doyle did not go skating, I'm told, right? I'm sorry?
No.
You went somewhere?
No.
So your eyes just red like that for no reason? They're like blessed out red.
It's not red.
You can't see me, you drunk. I ain't drunk. Oh, God. The Hake Report is coming up now. TheHakeReport.com from 9 to 11. At 12 noon, a brand new episode of The FallenState.tv. And at 4 p.m., The American Anchor Baby. At 4 p.m. And then Sunday morning, I'll see you at Fellowship. All are invited. Go to rebuildingtheman.com/church. rebuildingtheman.com/church. Mark from Florida. Tony from Florida. Carlos from Florida. Florida everywhere. Everybody and their mama from Florida. That's baby Jessica's dad. And the caller just dropped. I am out of time. Get on that straight and narrow. Stay there. Stay, men and women. Stay there, stay there, stay there. Forgive, and you shall be forgiven. All right? Forgive your mother and your father. Do not leave your mother out if you want to be free. Forgive her. She can help herself. Take care, folks. Do the silent prayer. rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. And donate to Bond. rebuildingtheman.com/donate or call 800-411-BOND. Bye. I made it. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. I recommend you get a copy of my book, From Rage to Responsibility. I write about how the spirit of anger was taken away from me 29 years ago. I forgave my mother who tried to turn me away from my father, and I returned to my father, and through him, my father on earth, and through him I was able to return to God. No man or woman can return to God unless you go through the Son. And men are sons of God. They may be weak, pathetic examples of it, but it's the spiritual order of life. God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, and woman over children. So get From Rage to Responsibility. I write about that. Go to my website, rebuildingtheman.com for an autographed copy or call 800-411-BOND. And donate to my nonprofit, Bond, the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. We are rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man.